Welcome to this week's Movie Math, where two blondes battled it out at the box office and left Hollywood scratching their heads as to whether there was room for both or they cannibalized each other. See, here's the thing. Sure, Insurgent opened with a little less than predicted, but it still opened on par with Divergent. And if you look at the Hunger Games stats, both of the first two films in that franchise also opened on par. In fact, the third entry, Mockingjay Part 1, even opened lower, and nobody freaked out then. So it would seem all is fine with the Divergent series as well, and thanks to a solid bow overseas, it opened with 100 million worldwide for the weekend. But things are even better for Disney's live-action fairy tales. Not only did Cinderella boast a worldwide debut that was 30 million higher last weekend, but the flick had a very strong second weekend hold. Cinderella matched Maleficent's 50% hold in its second weekend, also shared by Oz the Great and Powerful and Alice in Wonderland. Cinderella also waltzed past the century mark on Saturday and is quickly closing in on the top-grossing domestic films of the year so far, SpongeBob and 50 Shades. March is indeed becoming a prime release date for Hollywood. As we discussed in Beyond the Trailer's Summer 2016 preview, the month is already overcrowded with movies like Warcraft, Allegiant, Kung Fu Panda 3, and Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. No wonder Disney has already slated their live-action Beauty and the Beast for March 2017, which is also set to debut a new Wolverine movie, Legendary's Kong Skull Island, and of course, Allegiant Part 2. That's potentially worrying for Allegiant, as Cinderella already stole away about 10% of Triss's female audience. With more male-centric tentpoles scheduled for March 2016 and 2017, Triss could see losses in both genders. But those are blockbuster problems. Hollywood in general has a far bigger one, and that's simply getting people to go to the movies. Take a look at the overall top 10. After Triss and Cindy, the total weekend hauls, that's over the course of 3 days, dropped to 5 million and lower. That would indicate that even small movies are front-loaded, and small movies can't afford to be front-loaded. Not too long ago, a movie relied on good word of mouth to keep people coming out to the theater for weeks. But now it seems word of mouth only makes people take note of a movie for when it's available later on with on-demand or streaming. How about you? Will you see a movie after its opening weekend? And how good does word of mouth need to be to get you to do so? Because a lot of people are singing Chappie's praises passionately, yet that thing continues to drop like a rock. Here's Chappie, all the way down at number 9 in just its third week of release. It hasn't even been able to crack the century mark yet globally, despite opening in several countries a week earlier than it did here in the US. There goes your last shot at playing Aladdin, Dev Patel. And it looks like Sean Penn's dreams of becoming the next Liam Neeson have also been shattered, as The Gunman opened with just half of Run All Night's debut last weekend, which was a recent low for Neeson. It's hard to compare The Gunman's debut to Penn's recent work, though, as his films usually open in limited release or he only has a small role. But I think we can safely say that MO is what works for him, and he should go back to it. Faith-based film Do You Believe also hit theaters, yet was unable to match the debuts of similar smaller religious films like God's Not Dead from the same creative team, Soul Surfer, and even the new Left Behind. Although Kingsman is attracting followers like crazy. It fell just about another 25% in its 6th week of release and is closing in on 300 million worldwide, over 3 times its budget. That means it's also closing in on X-Men First Class and Wanted to potentially become the biggest picks yet for Matthew Vaughn and Mark Millar. And for this year, it's also the 3rd highest grossing movie overall worldwide, soon to be the 2nd highest with Taken 3 not that far out of reach. Finally, in the specialty market, while It Follows continues to stoke the fires of its surprisingly strong debut last weekend, both Danny Collins and Kumiko the Treasure Hunter failed to get any traction at the box office despite very aggressive ad campaigns. As for this coming weekend, Get Hard is expected to put Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart back at the top of the box office, while Dreamworks Animation is looking at another lukewarm debut. Thank goodness Jeffrey Katzenberg has all that money to wipe away his tears. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.